Welcome back to the I Do Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Please like, subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on the platform you listen or watch us on. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being here every week with us. Please also share our podcast, share our Insta Reels. If you're on TikTok, so are we. So please share, follow. It just really helps boost the audience and share the love that we have to give. Don't know why I said that. This week we are talking all things wedding, true or false. And you're going to be leading us through today?
Yes, so I have done some research on all sorts of different things. So I'm going to play a little game with you, Jen, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you some statements and I want you to tell me if they're true or false.
Okay.
So we've got quite a few, so we'll see how we get on.
Should I have prepared a sign? Nah.
You could just tell me.
Okay.
There's some fairly simple ones in here, and then there's some ones that I had to do double research and sort of look on a few different sources because I was like, surely that can't be true. So
are these wedding myths?
No, they're kind of like, there's a few that are stats.
Oh, okay.
Facts, origins of stuff. So we'll see how well you know the wedding industry, Jen. Are you up for it?
Sure.
I mean, you haven't really got a choice because that's what this week's episode is all about. So if you say no, then we've got nothing to do.
What I will caveat this with is Em and I, as we talk about on every episode, run our own prop hire and wedding styling business. This should not defer you from the exceptional customer service that you will receive in the build-up, during and after your wedding, and reasonable pricing and transparency. I don't know everything, but I will give it a good go.
Yeah, this is going to be horrendous. Right, let's start. Let's just start.
Okay.
Easy.
True or false?
Well, uncontentious.
Okay.
True or false? The average cost of a wedding in the UK is around £20,000.
True.
True. That is true.
Straight in it, true, because you probably think that you want to spend about 12 grand. Somebody told me 5 years ago you should always add 7 grand on the top of that. Let's call that inflation. That's 8 grand.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think most people go in thinking, yeah, I'm okay spending 12 grand because that's less than a deposit on my first house, and that seems quite affordable with money that we can save every month.
Yeah.
But no, you end up paying 20 grand.
Yeah. And I actually think 20 grand is quite conservative these days.
Yeah. If you include your dress, your suits, your bridesmaid dress, all of the hair and makeup, all of that, alterations. Yeah.
Yeah. It adds up pretty quick. So I would say, unless you're doing a real DIY wedding in your parents' backyard,
yeah,
you're spending at least 20 grand.
Mm-hmm. How many have we got of these, Em? Because I'm going to keep a tally of the correct answers.
I've got 30.
Wow. Okay.
So, true or false? June is the most popular month for a wedding in the UK.
False.
What do you think it is?
September.
It is false, but it's actually August.
What?
So August is the most popular month to get married.
Did you know that September is the driest month of the year, guys?
It is these days, yeah. The seasons are like shifting.
Yeah.
Aren't they? I reckon we're a month. Each of our seasons are like a month out now.
Yeah, I think it's terrifying. That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah. We're definitely not qualified to talk on that subject.
No. I'll just scare everyone and myself. August is the most expensive time to have your wedding, though. Why are you choosing then?
Well, it's most expensive because it's the most popular, I suppose.
That's outrageous. shift it a week and get married in September because it's the driest.
Yeah. True or
But
false?
I'm considering that as a correct.
We got that right, yeah. You
Yeah.
said false.
Yeah.
True or false? The tradition of wearing white as a wedding dress originated in the UK.
True.
That is true.
It sounds like something the British would make up.
Yeah. So thanks to Queen Victoria and the Goody's Ladies book, which was a very popular book that young ladies used to read for etiquette and stuff, white is the go-to choice for brides on their wedding day because it's an emblem of purity, innocence, and girlhood, which is all a little bit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But
and we're still doing it today.
I presume you were like 16 when you were getting married back then.
Yeah, you were
Like
younger,
10
much younger.
to 20 years younger than most brides average.
Well, I think the girlhood, the innocence of girlhood, is more you're untainted.
Hymen is intact.
Yeah. That's exactly what that means.
What? Why on earth did I just say that? We'll never know.
That is definitely an Instagram reel clip.
Oh god.
So did you get that right?
Is this number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that right.
Well done. Well done.
3 out of 3 so far.
It came from the UK. So true or false? In the UK, it is customary for the bride's family to pay for the entire wedding.
True.
Okay.
Not
Why?
that much, but why? Something to do with giving her away to the man?
So, if I was to ask you that question like 50 years ago, it would have been true, but it is actually false.
What?
So the more custom thing to do now is for the couple to pay for themselves.
Shock. Yeah, but you didn't give me a time frame on when. Did you?
No, I just said in the UK. Traditionally, the bride's family did pay for the wedding.
I'm going to give myself a point.
Well, you got it wrong.
Okay, fine.
I didn't say traditionally.
What did you say?
In the UK, it's customary.
Okay.
So you got it wrong, but I can see why you got it wrong. But actually, couples pay for it themselves these days.
Yes, but why? Why was that tradition abolished?
I think it's because the mother of the bride was getting too bolshy with her opinions. And so the brides were like, F you, mum, I'll just pay for this myself and do what I want.
No financial input, no opinion. Well, because when my mum talks about her first wedding, I believe that her parents did pay, and it was mainly their friends that attended.
Yeah, exactly.
But then in her second wedding, they paid together, and she chose her entire guest list. Interesting. Okay, we'll call that.
A bit more. I think back in the day, you used to get married, and they were more standardized, simplistic events.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't all the choice that you've got now of venue and
because most people,
all the extras.
If you lived in a town or in and around the town, you would either have one bridal shop in the town with like 5 options, maybe not 5, but limited options. And let's say you had your department store, that would also have limited. You don't, and like you said, you didn't have the choice. You couldn't order online. You couldn't.
Got married in the church and had your ceremony in the community centre.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody did it. And you just changed your flowers from lilac to pink to peach. Like, it wasn't like a massive thing. So there wasn't all the choice that you had to spend all this extra money. That only really started coming in the 80s and 90s, I think.
one of my team at work, her grandparents are just about to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary.
I love that.
And she was telling her, because she's helping her grandma with the, I mean, I love her grandma. If her grandma could adopt me, I would be in heaven. Her grandma thinks it. So she's been helping her grandma with the with the party invitations to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. It blows her grandma's mind that she can create beautiful wedding party invitations via Canva.
I know.
She's literally like, how have you done this? This looks like a professional, polished, very finished invitation.
Yeah, I know.
Her granddad, because they had a similar wedding, so they got married in a church 50 years ago. They then had the reception in the village hall 50 years ago. They're still local to that village. He suggested that they have the 50th wedding anniversary party in the same village hall, because wouldn't that be romantic? Her grandma vetoed. She was like, well, we're not romantic at all, so we're not doing that. Oh, okay.
Grandma's going to the Ivy.
Grandma has a plan. So, and I don't think anything's going to get in the way of Grandma's plan. But I just thought that would have been so nice, but Grandma doesn't want to do that, so they're not doing that.
No. Right, next one. True or false? The royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton in 2011 had over 2 billion views worldwide.
Is this a trick question? 2 billion live views at the time, or in general?
I'm not sure on my facts there. Just 2 billion viewers worldwide. So 2 billion people watched the wedding.
True.
I'm assuming.
Gonna go with true.
So this is actually false.
What?
So they had 1 billion, and they're actually ranked number 3 on the most viewed weddings. Can you guess what number 1 and number 2 is?
Princess Diana, Prince Charles.
Yep, that's number 2. So Prince William and Kate had 1 billion views, sitting at number 3. Sitting at number 2 is Prince Charles and Lady Diana with 1 billion views. Number 1 is...
Surely it can't be Prince Harry, Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Is it?
With 1.9 billion. So that's nearly 2 million. I had to go on 4 websites to check that was right, because I was like, surely not.
But it's the American dream, Em.
I think that's what it is, isn't it?
What it is. She's done it. No one else has.
And she has made a mockery of the whole thing in less than 3 years.
Oh. Rumour has it they're on the way out. So...
Oh. I've heard that she's just coming out with a new jam.
2
She's like trying to...
marriages end in divorce. So that's your top 3 there.
Oh, I haven't heard that rumour, but I'm looking forward to the...
I have a credible source. Who has a credible source? Who confirmed 3 months ago that he was living in a hotel, but different podcast. I got that wrong there.
Is going to out the news. Share.
Well, I'm not sure if it's under embargo. It probably is. Maybe this is the one thing that's going to get us millions of views. 1.9 billion, we hope.
Oh, welcome to the podcast.
Or welcome to the last episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm being sued.
We're in jail.
Rumour has it they're on their way out, okay?
Rumour. Moving on quickly. True or false? In the UK, it is illegal to get married outdoors.
True.
You overthought that way too much.
Is it false?
It is false. You can get married outdoors, but there are legal requirements for the outdoors to have certificates and be approved, and you can't just get married anywhere. They've all got to have licenses.
See, I went down the celebrant only outdoors.
So if you're legally having your wedding where you physically get married at that point, there has to be a license. If you've
Right.
already got married in a registry office 2
Yeah.
days before, you can have a party and a production of a ceremony
Service.
anywhere.
Yeah.
But you can't actually get married, like physically get married at that point in time, unless that place you're getting married has a license. And
Gosh.
it's not just a venue. A venue has to have specific licenses for specific areas on their venue. So there'll be one for that part of the barn, there'll be one for that field, there'll be one for that part of under that forest tree. So one venue could have multiple licenses for multiple areas in their venue.
So technically, if they don't have the license and it's outside and they don't have the correct ticks in the boxes, it is true.
It is illegal, yeah. If they don't have a license, it's illegal to get married outside without a license on that specific spot.
I'm going to give myself half a point there.
I mean, I love your scoring system.
3.5 so far. Started off strong and now doing terribly.
Right. Number 7. The most popular day of the week for weddings in the UK is a Saturday.
True.
It is true, yeah. Very much true. For an extra point, can you tell me what the least popular day is?
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday! Well done, Jen! Thumbs up.
Excellent.
I think a Tuesday is just a bit of a non-day, isn't it?
Well, you'd go back to work on the Monday. Oh, but I've got a wedding tomorrow. So...
Yeah.
No one gets married on a Tuesday, do they?
I mean, but if you do, it's probably cheaper.
Just checking what day.
So do we have any weddings on a Tuesday?
No.
I think all our weddings that aren't on a weekend are on Thursdays and Fridays, aren't they?
There is one on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I can't see from here what. Just wait 1 second.
We don't have any on Monday and Tuesday, I don't think.
No, we do not.
There we go. If you're looking for save a buck or two, maybe inquire with your venue about a Tuesday, because it's likely that it'll be cheaper because nobody will have booked them.
Or if you are a wedding venue, don't host them on a Tuesday because no one's going to book it.
Yeah. Do your admin on a Tuesday. Okay. True or false? The average age for a bride and groom in the UK is increasing.
True.
It is true. For an extra point, can you tell me what the average age is? I mean, the man and the woman and the man age slightly differs, but a ballpark will be
So
fine.
the average age of a UK bride, 32.
Okay.
The average age of a UK groom, 34.
You're so close. You were 1 year out. So the average age of a UK bride is 33 and the groom is 35. Now, if we go back to 1950, that was 20 and 22.
But how many people that got married in 1950 is still together?
Probably more than that got married last year.
If you got married in 1950 at 20/22, how old are you now? For everybody listening to the podcast, Em's working out the maths.
On her fingers. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So you've been married for 70 years.
So you'd be 90 to 92.
So they're not getting divorced. They're not getting divorced. That generation aren't getting divorced. So I reckon there'll be more people married, get like still married in the 1950s than there were 30 years ago. Because you didn't really get divorced, did you? You just
No.
sucked it up and carried
God.
on going.
Yeah. Till death. Unless you have a note from beyond the grave. Little voice note there, played at your funeral.
Last week episode, Jen took us to having voice notes for all the dead people at your wedding. So that was nice.
I bet you 50 quid. And Mum, if you're listening, you cannot. You have to be impartial to this bet. Bet you 50 quid. Mum records something to be played at her funeral following this suggestion. I bet you 50 quid.
I think it's different playing it at a funeral than playing it at a wedding. Anyway,
Same.
we're not here to argue about this again.
No, sorry.
So you got that right. Number 9, true or false? The tradition of throwing confetti at a wedding originates in the UK.
False.
Okay. So I'll give you that because it's not really. So the tradition of throwing confetti dates back to like centuries, and we think it's from Italy. So the Italian word confetto, which means like sweets, because they used to like throw sugar coated almonds up, which can you just imagine like
If one hit you in the eye, or
throwing
like
a handful of almonds.
when you get it right on the eyebrow,
Yeah.
that's like a proper ding.
And it was tossed at the newlyweds to symbol like prosperity and fertility and sweetness in their marriage. And I think that's why sometimes your favour is sugar coated almonds.
Good almonds.
Yeah. But in the UK, in the Victorian era, we started to throw like rice for the same sort of fertility and abundance thing. And now we've changed it to like coloured paper and because it looks nicer in photos.
Dried flowers, yeah.
Yeah. But it used to be rice in the UK. So they think it was actually in Italy at first, but the Victorians brought it into the UK with rice rather than almonds. They didn't render you unconscious.
Like chip a tooth as people are throwing it. Because some people get quite nasty with the confetti, which I don't really appreciate.
No.
Don't be a dick in the confetti run. That's my advice. All round.
Yeah, just throw it like you're told.
And throw it up. Not at.
Yes, up at, not at, like that. Okay, true or false? Scotland has a unique wedding tradition called hand fasting.
What's hand fasting?
Can't tell you that right now. Is that true? Yeah, it is true. It's a hand fasting is a symbolic act that takes place during a wedding ceremony where the hands of the happy couple are bound together or bonded, it says, together with ribbon or cord to represent their commitment to each other. So we've seen this come down the aisle a little bit because I've seen celebrants do this type of thing where they have coloured ribbon and they wrap you up while sort of telling a story or saying, well, so yeah, it's called hand fasting.
It sounds grosser than you've described.
When I've wrote this, I've had to bold the fasting bit so I didn't interchange it with fisting because when I kept on saying fisting rather than fasting, which I think gives a completely different.
I don't think it's the same vibe.
No, it's not.
I think it's worse than the Beyond the Grave voice note.
That's why I made sure I got it right. So, true or false? The tradition of a wedding cake dates back to the Roman times in the UK.
Did they have cake in Roman times? What were they made out of?
Flour and sugar, probably.
False.
It's actually true.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Romans used to have cake because sugar and stuff wasn't that abundant. they used to have the cake for special occasions, and weddings were one of them.
Interesting.
I don't think it's like a 4-tiered cake with a topper and the icing. I think it was more like a
What
currant
kind?
cake.
But where would they have got those? I need more answers.
Yeah, I didn't look too much into that, but it's all to do with the celebration and
Right.
using their resources for that celebration.
Interesting.
True or false? The average length of an engagement in the UK is 14 months.
True.
That's false.
What?
Can you guess how long it is?
16 months?
You're getting closer.
17?
One more.
18 months.
18 months, yeah. 1.5 years, the average engagement.
How long was yours?
Yeah, 18. We got engaged in the new year, and then sort of the following year in the summer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we had COVID between when Ian proposed and then we got married. Because that
How
would have
long was
been,
yours?
that was 2 years and 2 months. I also wanted like a year to be engaged anyway, so but it would have been the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Also,
Okay.
if you're paying for it yourself, you need 18 months to save,
Oh, yeah.
don't you?
Yeah. So that you're not overspending, getting yourself in debt and everything.
Yeah. Do not get in debt for your wedding.
No, not worth it.
It's not. So number 30. Well done.
No, I got that wrong.
You got that wrong. So number 13. True or false? Traditional Scottish weddings feature a ceremonial dance called the Highland Fling.
True.
So this is a bit of a trick question.
It's a trick question.
It is false because the Highland Fling isn't specifically associated with weddings.
Yes, but they still do it.
But I said a Scottish wedding feature. I think they just all get up and do it anyway. A bit like us doing the Macarena.
Is it the same?
I mean, it's cultural thing that we do. Don't we all just get up and do the
The
Macarena?
Macarena?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
that's a
that's
Spanish dance, but cool.
I don't think that's like hundreds of years old, like the Highland Fling.
Right, okay, slight difference, but same concept.
Same concept.
Okay, number 14. In the UK, it's customary for the groom to wear a kilt in Scottish weddings.
True.
It is true. I think that's my last Scottish question.
Rumour has it there's possibly going to be a kilt appearance at Ian's birthday. Not by Ian.
Oh, nice. I love a man in a kilt.
Oh, well, if you're listening, then please wear it. It was said in jest, but I'm really hoping it's true. Because I think it would be great.
Yeah, me too. So, true or false? The wedding ring is traditionally worn on the left hand ring finger in the UK. Hang on. The wedding ring is traditionally worn on the left hand's ring finger in the UK.
True.
Okay, I've marked false for this, but it is true. But what I think I've marked false is the tradition actually didn't start in the UK. So in ancient Egypt and the Greek and ancient Rome, they all started wearing it on their fourth finger on their left hand because they believe there was a vein that runs straight from that finger all the way to your heart.
Is that true now?
So I'll give you it, but it actually didn't come from the UK. It came from ancient Egypt, Greek, and Rome.
Is there a vein that runs from your Finger to your
I
heart?
think there is, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't confirm or deny that fact. To be honest, I can't confirm or deny any of the facts I'm giving you today.
So they
We're going to
may
roll with
or
it.
may not be true or false. But so far, I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half out of 30 so far.
How many have you got at home? Let us know in the comments. I think we're about halfway through, so you can let us know how well you're doing. So, number 16, true or false? In the UK, it is considered unlucky for the groom to see the bride in her wedding dress before the ceremony.
True.
It is true. Can you tell me why we think that?
Why would that be unlucky? Something about her virtue?
Well, I'm going to read this precise from the source I got it from. This practice emerged from pre-18th century time, when it was commonplace for pre-arranged marriages. It was deemed unlucky for the bride and groom to see one another. This was an attempt to keep the groom from backing out of the wedding upon seeing his unidentified bride prior to the ceremony.
That does make sense.
It's like, oh shit, I'm not going to do that.
And then the modern day version is not seeing each other the night before / morning of.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Can you imagine
That was
an arranged
hilarious.
marriage?
Yeah. Nah, sorry. Not.
Well, I saw her yesterday by accident and I can't go through with this, sorry. Because then you would be dreading it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's
Dreading the rest of your life.
walking down the aisle any minute. I'm going to have to pretend that I'm happy. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
And that's maybe where like the sort of dolling up of the bride and all that time that went into doing her hair and her makeup and making her look as good as possible came from, because it was literally your first impression. And you
Yes.
didn't want them like running away as you were walking down the aisle, did you?
Isn't that mad?
Yeah.
That is like that is ingrained in our culture, because even today it doesn't matter who you are, you still want to look your best
Mm-hmm.
on your wedding day, and you put all that pressure on yourself. This is scientific.
I
It's
know.
called evolution. Like, we still, doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what your wedding's like, who you're marrying, you still put that pressure on yourself today because of this.
Yeah. Number 17. True or false? The bouquet toss tradition at weddings originated in the UK.
False.
It is false. Do you know where it originated from?
I'm going to go America.
Ancient Greece and Rome.
Oh.
They were the pioneers for all this wedding stuff. I tell you. I couldn't
Not
actually
America.
I couldn't find out
Why?
why. So if anybody knows at home, please let us know, because I mean I did run out of time researching, but so it will be there. It will be there somewhere. But like on my first sort of Google search, I couldn't really find out why. So please, somebody who's got a bit more patience than I, could you Google it and tell me? So, true or false, the most popular type of venues for weddings in the UK is hotels.
Right now?
Yeah, recent-ish.
False.
Why you say that?
Because I think some people will still pick a hotel wedding because it's just easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You have a wedding coordinator, it's all done for you. I think people today have more options.
Yeah.
So you could get married, you could elope, you could have a Vegas wedding, or you could get married in the beach in Bora Bora, just the two of you. Or you could have a barn wedding, or you could have wedding in your back garden, village hall, blah, blah, blah. There's so many other choices. You don't have to choose hotel wedding.
It's actually true.
What?
So the most popular venue is still a hotel.
No. That can't be right.
What my research told me.
When was the last time you went to a wedding in a hotel?
I mean, it has been a while.
Mine was like 10 years ago. How old is your research?
Let's well, we can fact check that, but the answer's true for this.
Okay, that's fine.
Number 19. The average number of guests at a UK wedding is around 100.
True.
It is true, yeah. 100's the sweet spot.
I think you tend to invite more people. Well, I didn't do that though. You should invite more people because people will drop out. People won't be able to come. You'll have like, I would say 10% dropout rate.
Yeah. I think 100. Between 80 and 100 is, I would say, the best amount because it's a manageable amount of people to like carry through the day.
And you can pretty much get around and say hi to everyone.
Yeah, it's a manageable amount of people to sit down for dinner, that the space that you need to sit more than 100 then becomes harder to find. Most venues can sit 100 comfortably. When you're starting to go to 120, 100, the venues are more specialist, I think.
And you have less choice.
Yeah, you have less choice, and also everything becomes way more expensive because even like you're feeding more people, but also you've got to do more wedding stationery, you've got to do more centerpieces, and there's a difference between a florist doing 10 centerpieces to them doing 15. So most florists have 10 of each vase, 10 of each thing. They'd have to then start buying more stuff, which will add your quote. So I think under 100 is a sweet spot. And also, who knows more? Who knows how many people that you actually want to pay for their dinner?
And are they going to do the same? No. I just feel so bad for those people who go to a wedding and they put that effort in for their friends and family, and they travel, they spend their own money on accommodation, they take time off, blah, 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 get them a gift, all of that kind of thing. And then when it comes to your wedding and you don't see the same effort from those people that you've given that effort and energy to, it's disappointing and it's heartbreaking when you're going through it.
Yeah.
It's not nice. But you learn who your real people are, as we've said before.
You do learn who your people are when you're planning your wedding. Okay. Number 20. True or false? In the UK, it's customary for brides to have bridesmaids who are typically consistent of unmarried friends and relatives.
Say that again?
In the UK, it is customary.
Now?
Yes. For brides to have bridesmaids who are typically consisting of unmarried friends and relatives.
True?
Yeah, it is true. But it's more a tradition thing, I think.
Yeah.
So traditionally, your bridesmaids were all unmarried and your maid of honour was the married one.
Yeah.
Now we just mix it all up, I think.
I was going to say, what if you're the last one of your friends to get married and then you don't have any more friends or family to be a bridesmaid?
I think now it's probably false, but traditionally it's true.
Interesting.
Question 21. True or false? The average number of guests at a UK wedding has increased over the past decade.
True?
It is true. The average number of guests has increased because weddings have become larger and more extravagant.
I wouldn't say that that's the reason.
What would you say the reason is?
I don't know.
Our networks have become bigger, I think.
That's what I think. Like you have, so people that let's take me, for example.
Mhm.
This is all about me on this podcast. Like, I'm probably in my third grown-up job since finishing uni and all that. And you carry some people that you work with in those jobs stick.
Yeah.
And then you've got your uni friends, the ones that stick.
Yeah.
And then you've got your childhood friends, the ones that stick. And then you've got, I don't know, your
But that makes
your
sense.
line manager who is no longer your line manager who sticks.
Yeah, that makes sense because we're getting married older.
Yeah.
So our networks have grown bigger. But also the way we have friends and stay in contact with people is easier with like
Yes.
social media and everything. So you keep friends that in the past would have naturally grown away.
Yes. Although when I think of one of my friends who spends some of her time in a different country and some of her time in this country, who shall remain nameless, you send her a message, hey, how are you? What you been up to? Miss you, hope you're okay, can't wait to see you kind of message. Don't hear a single thing. As soon as you say, oh, could you send me a crazy video of you doing something for a colleague who's leaving? She got back to me within half an hour.
I think that's more of a personality thing about communication rather than you can still contact her and invite her to your wedding. Whereas before, if she was living abroad, that would have been a harder thing to do, wouldn't it?
Airmail? I don't know.
Pigeons. Okay, number 22. True or false? Destination weddings have become increasingly popular among UK couples in recent years.
True.
It is very true. Lots more couples now are opting for destination weddings because they're combining their nuptials with a travel experience for them and a honeymoon and holidays for friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also that elope part where you just sort of take a few people, you just go and do it.
Yeah. I think I'd like a Vegas wedding at some point. Just because it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I got married in Vegas. Woo!
Woo! 23. True or false? Civil ceremonies have surpassed religious ceremonies as the most common type of UK wedding.
True.
It is true. Civil ceremonies, whether they're run by registrars or celebrants, have become more popular due to their flexibility and inclusivity.
Mm-hmm. I would say that let's just go with my immediate family, 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 2 out of 5. Well, that's still quite close numbers. 2 out of the 5 have had their weddings in church.
Yeah. Like 1 out of the 10 weddings I've been to have been in a church.
Just 1?
About 1, yeah.
I'd say 4 or 5 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I love a good wedding, so maybe more than that. I'm just thinking. When I was little, I went to one in a church, so I'll count that. My best friend's wedding, church. Her best friend's, church. My sister, church. My mum, church. One of my best friend's sisters, church. That's 6.
I'm thinking you just have more upstanding citizens as friends, and I'm more of a.
But I love a good wedding. Being a wedding guest is my favourite thing ever. So muscle my way in there to everyone's wedding.
Yeah, I know. Just go to everybody's,
I just
whether you
love
know
it.
them or not. Just turn up.
Love it.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? Especially the ceremony. Nobody will notice, will they? If it's
No, maybe I'll just do that. In all the spare time I have, turn up at people's weddings.
Number 24. True or false? The average cost of wedding attire for a bride in the UK is higher than that of a groom.
True.
Yeah, true. The bride typically spends. There was 2 stats, 40% and 60% more on her attire, including her wedding dress and accessories and everything, than the groom.
Do you know how much more you spent on yours than Jord?
So George hired a suit.
Did he?
Hired a suit, bought a new shirt, bought bow tie. He did buy new shoes. He bought new shoes actually.
So the 60% is probably right for you.
Yeah.
No, I think because my shoes, and I had two. Yeah, I'd probably say yeah, because they wore the same suit both days.
Yeah.
But the big dress on the day 2 was cheap.
But I think even if you buy a suit and get it tailored, and a new shirt and new shoes and socks and underwear and a tie of some sort and a pocket square, and even if a belt, even if you add all of that up, I don't think you'll come in anywhere close to a wedding dress.
No.
And shoes and hairpiece and underwear and
no.
Yeah, I just don't think you come in anywhere close.
Bag, belts, earring, the whole
because if you're a bougie guy and you are even going to a bougie shop to get your suit,
yeah,
you're more than likely got the budget for having a bougie bride. So the price of hers is going to go up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say 60 is closer. True or false? Wedding photographers and videographers are increasingly becoming the more significant portion of the average budget in the UK.
True.
It is true. Photography and videography are considered essential for capturing your memories of the special day. So people are pumping more money into that now than they used to. I think the number one thing is still the venue and food, but yeah. 26, true or false? DIY weddings have become a trend in the UK, with couples opting to personalise all their decorations and details themselves.
True.
True. Yeah, DIY weddings are allowing couples to add personal touches while saving money and creating the wedding of their dreams. But you don't have to do that yourself. You can still work with suppliers to do that. But adding personal touches and personalising your wedding is really important.
Yeah.
27. True or false? The UK has seen a rise in themed weddings, with couples incorporating specific themes or motifs into their ceremonies and receptions.
True.
True. Theming a wedding is becoming really popular. And at the moment, there's lots of vintage inspired or geek kind of themes coming out. So if you're a geek,
like Harry Potter,
you love Harry Potter, or you love board games or whatever you do, they're
Star Wars.
Yeah, just like really personalising their weddings to whatever they want it to be. 28. We're nearly there, guys. Nearly there. 3 more. True or false? In recent years, there has been a notable increase in eco-friendly weddings in the UK, with couples prioritising sustainability for their weddings.
I want to say true.
It is true. Yep.
It's like the disposable flip-flops. You don't really see that often anymore.
No, people are opting to like hire things or use stuff that they can reuse, or stuff. Not having loads of plastic just hanging around is becoming more important to people. Saves you money too.
100%.
Because that basket of flip-flops that you spent £100 on, maybe 4 pairs might get used.
Yeah.
29. True or false? Same-sex marriages have been legal in the UK since 2014. And the number of such marriages has steadily increased since then.
See, 2014 doesn't seem like that long ago. Say it again.
Same-sex marriages has been legal in the UK since 2014, and the number of such marriages has been steadily increasing.
It's got to be longer than that. 2014, that was what, 10 years ago? It's got to be longer. I'm saying false.
It's true.
What?
Yeah.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
Shall I Google it in case I've really got it wrong? It doesn't seem long enough, does it?
No.
It took effect on the 13th of March 2014.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Moving on.
Can't believe that.
Last question. True or false? The UK wedding industry contributes significantly to the country's economy, with billions of pounds spent each year on weddings or related services.
False?
It's true.
Billions of pounds.
Mm-hmm. The wedding industry is a significant contributor to the UK economy and supports lots of small businesses and services, which equates to billions of pounds being pumped into the economy. So if we all stop getting married, it would be
terrible.
The economy would have big problems. Billions of pounds a year spent on weddings.
Wow.
Just in the UK.
I just can't. That's mad. Billions.
Billions.
Don't we spend billions on the NHS every year?
Yep.
Covered a lot of topics that we're not educated enough to talk about.
No, exactly. So that was your 30 questions with a few bonus points. I think you could have got 32 points. How many did you get?
23.5.
That's not bad.
I'm happy with that.
That's not bad, considering there are some of them that I might need to just go and check the answers to.
Yeah. And some of them were trick questions, which I believe I should have got a point anyway, because technically I was correct. But fair is fair. So 23.5.
23.5. Well done, Jen. Is there any in there that you think, wowzers?
I can't believe it was 10 years ago that same-sex marriage was made legal in the UK. I just can't believe it was only 10 years ago. To me, that's outrageous. What were we doing before that? What?
I know. It's awful, isn't it?
And billions of pounds wasted on weddings. The Tuesday one.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, I've
been to a lot of weddings, but they've never been on a Tuesday.
I've never been to a wedding on a Tuesday either.
That was good, Em.
That's what I've got for you today.
Let us know how you got on playing along at home. Whether you beat my score of 23.5.
Yeah. I think you did well, Jen.
I thought I was going to do much worse, so luckily can hold my head high at the end of this episode. Please like, subscribe, rate and review our podcast on the platform you listen or watch us on. Keep up to date with the podcast by following our Instagram account. It's at the I Do Crew podcast. Send us your questions or topics you'd like us to chat through. We only have 4 episodes left of this season. Dun, dun, dun. I've seen that professional podcasters, not that we're not professionals, but they have like these, it's like I don't even know what you call it. It looks like some sort of airplane dashboard. You've got different buttons where you can have different sounds on and you can press the theme tune and things like that. But we don't have the budget for that. So
last week I just sang the Rate It or Hate It theme tune, which was very different from the one that I sang for another episode. So
doesn't matter.
We are all in on the technology on this podcast.
But if you've got any topics that you'd like us to chat through over the next 4 episodes, please let us know. Please get in touch, DM us, and just let us know what you want to hear about over these last 4 episodes. Thank you, Em, for a great episode this week. And until next week, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
You've been listening to the I Do Crew podcast with Jen and Emma. Keep up to date with our podcast news by following our I Do Crew podcast Instagram account. Thanks for listening.